Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy III. The last hour made our way here to Salonia after restoring the world, and our airship got blown the hell up.
Also, there's a civil war going on, and whoever loses dies.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Salonia, first off, basically all but one shop in this entire town are closed. Salonia is split up into 4 quadrants, and each one is actually a different town that you can access in terms of like structure and such. For the main part here, we only need to enter the southwestern and then the northeastern block, but you do want to eventually go to the mall, I believe.
But why?
Because plot. Also, this kid here is very important because he is a free fat chocobo, meaning you can now sell basically any carrots you have.
Serpent. Oh my god, I love the Fat Chocobo theme so much, especially in 4.
I put the ice and serpent blade into the chocobo, even though I think they're actually stronger than the salamander.
That's morbid. You put the ice and serpent sword into the chocobo. Ah!
Hey, he swallowed them willingly. And I put them in there just because, honestly, I'm going to be getting another sword soon enough anyway, so I just decided to put them away.
I didn't know chocobos were sword swallowers. That's quite interesting, since that's actually a real thing.
Yes, and apparently, the reason that this is all happening is that the king is going a bit berserk for some reason.
Baron, excuse me.
Yeah, actually, similar notes. Because apparently the Chancellor seems to be the big guy in charge for some reason all of a sudden. And some people are noticing some odd things about him, namely that his shadow doesn't always look entirely human. But apparently the runaway prince is now in the bar, so let's help him out, because apparently people are being dicks to him.
Wow.
Now you gotta try and tackle me, huh? You know what? Ark, do your thing.
Good.
Well done, sir. I don't know how you made that last one explode, but I'll take it. And
Man, you love using that explosion.
Yeah, it's the same explosion. I've had that explosion effect for like 2 years now, and I love it. This is Prince Alice. He was kicked out of the castle basically because he was questioning his father.
Okay, that's pretty... All of this is pretty funny because, like, Fire Emblem 7 has that same thing with Zephiel and his father. And then the whole thing with the Chancellor and the King is Chrono Trigger-esque.
The Chancellors are almost always evil. 15 comes to mind. The main way to look at it, in fact, I think this is even on the TV tropes page about RPGs. Chancellors are always evil, and eviler, because keep in mind, Kefka.
Yeah, that's right.
But now that we actually have Alice with us, we can not only enter the castle, but we can also get some more stuff around the area. Namely, the 2 old guys in this section will give us a wind spear, and I think this guy has a dragon armor for us. That is actually dragoon equipment. But I can't use a dragoon yet, purely because I don't have enough equipment for them in terms of stuff, because I like dual wielding in this game. Thankfully,
that's why I like the Freelancer in FF5.
That's where the northeastern section comes in. Because you might remember that one of the guys in that section said that there is one shop in all of Salonia that is still open. It's in the northeastern block.
Do they talk about why the other ones are closed? Is it because of the war thing going on inside?
If I recall, it's because the king just said, "Ha, no sales." Even though it makes me wonder how people are eating and such. But it is a good thing to actually keep this stuff locked away from us for a bit, because there's actually some decent equipment in some of those. And that guy just mentioned the key thing. A certain legendary bird can only really be defeated by dragoons.
Bahamut?
Not yet. But what was the thing you were gonna say?
I don't even remember.
I am bad at this. But here is the one shop that is still open. A weapon shop. In it you can buy 2 kinds of spears, thunder or wind. If you can't tell just based off the fact they're more expensive, wind spears are better, so I'm buying 7 of them, just so I can have a total of 8 of them. I think you could tell where I'm going with
I think
this.
it'd be really interesting to make a weapon that's super expensive, but it's also really terrible. Because you can't always judge which one is better by how expensive it is. Not always.
At least not nowadays. Back then you probably could.
That's true.
And the southeastern block of Salonia is not required by any means, but you really do want to go here because we actually have a bit of an optional area here. This is the Dragon Tower. Take a guess at what we're going to be finding in here.
Hiryu, right? Turning into a phoenix?
Ha! No, too early.
Damn it.
The Dragon Tower is a pretty weird area in that you need to go through a lot more walls than you would expect to get through the first floor. In particular, I hate this last door, this last hidden passageway coming up because I never think to go around. Oh, hey, an enemy! First enemy for the part is a Needler. 300 HP, 700 XP, 380 gil. You can steal a High Potion, Black Hole Lilithkiss, or Incion from them, and they drop the exact same stuff. These guys can actually be very dangerous under level 20 because they actually do a decent chunk of damage before that.
Do they have 1,000 needles? Are Cactars even in this game?
Cactars were not invented until 6.
Wow, that's pretty crazy to think about.
But that's also why I love them in Worlds of Final Fantasy. That game is really charming.
Is it just me, or do they look like cats? Like a mix between a cat and a Stegosaurus?
The head definitely looks a lot more feline than the rest of it. But I see more, for some reason, one of the enemies from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I think. But yeah, this passageway always trips me up because I always think I should just go left, but no, you have to go around.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah, but...
Mind you, I think 4 does something similar.
Oh, 4 is full of that kind of stuff.
Ooh, my turn to get an enemy. It's Catoblipas, which is probably able to petrify, judging from me not reading the wiki page just yet. But Catoblipas has, according to the wiki page, that is loading very wonderfully, 1260 HP. Wait a minute, that's in the DS version. It has 305 HP, 800 experience points, 390 gil. They're not weak to anything at all, and you can steal potions. They do not drop anything. They can't paralyze you in this. They do look like bulls with wings, though. That's pretty charming. I'll give you that one.
They are the weirdest looking Catobal paths I've ever seen in the series. Given that, basically from 5 onwards, they used the Shote design.
Oh, Shote.
That scared the hell out of me when I first played 5, by the way, in those 2 specific forests. Just running around, doing some grinding, and suddenly, giant, weird pig face thing, and suddenly Rama! Either here we are at the top of the tower, and up here we're going to get a lot of Dragoon equipment, namely basically 4 of each armor and 4 of each helmet. You're going to want to use those. And here we got 2 new enemies, actually. Sorcerers, which have 310 HP, 800 XP, 400 gil, can use Fire 2, Ice 2, and Bolt 2, and you can steal and drop High Potion, North Winds, and Turtle Shells from them.
Give me a minute.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, it's got 295 HP, 700 experience points, 370 gil. They're not weak to anything, and you can steal potions from them. They use Ice 2, Fire 2, Bolt 2, Break, and Shade.
That was loud. That was loud. My ears.
Sorry, I was in a serious rush because the page was about to close on me.
If I recall, I still have the fire and ice. No, the flame mail is stored away, but the ice helm will make the sorcerer a lot easier. Either way, we're done in the tower, so now you might notice that my classes have changed. I have made everyone into a dragoon, put them in the front row, and equipped them with the dragon helm, the dragon armor, and 2 wind spears each, because you need at least, I would say, 2 dragoons in the NES version for the upcoming boss fight. Ugh, I hate this boss. This was my worst wall I've had in a while when I first played this game. Oh, Prince Alice is banished. Oh, he's suddenly unbanished.
What?
Basically, flags. You need to get him so you can have a conversation. But Salonia Castle is pretty small, but apparently we can't talk to the king until tomorrow. So we're just gonna need to sleep here in a random bedroom that's on the first floor of a castle.
Like tomorrow soon, I bet.
I'm getting flashbacks to 4.
Oh, that was a 10 thing.
And apparently we're both all horrible at sleeping. What kind of parents don't love their children? God damn it, Gendo.
Gigamess. Oh my god.
It's Gigameth. That's his name in the DS version.
But it's Gilgamesh also.
It's not Gilgamesh. I can tell you that for a fact. It's way too early for that.
Gigamess, it's so close.
That's profiling.
Ah!
Oh, hi, King. You have a menacing theme song. What's up? Oh! So, the king is trying to kill the prince because apparently Gigamesh has some sort of hypnosis on him. But the king does the most generic anime thing I've ever seen where he stabbed himself instead of kill his son. And he tries to attack him, but we get in the way, leading into our next boss fight against the annoying pain in the ass that is Garuda. 5,000 HP, 2,200 XP, 3,400 gil, weak to wind, so that's another reason to get the wind spears.
Oh, God.
You can steal a potion and he can use thunder on you, but this guy hurts. The best way you can damage them is with a Dragoon, and you just want to jump with them. That's basically all you ever want to do. This is the entire reason I think they gave you Dragoon equipment in this specific town at least, because it's the only time you really need one.
1377.
I'd rather have my tanks be on the ground. It's another reason why I don't like Dragoons in this game at least.
Didn't you say something about dealing 1377 in the last one? Exactly.
1337. This is all you can really do for this fight. If you don't have any Dragoon equipment, well, good luck, because this fight sucks. Especially in the 3D version, from what I recall of it, at least. It's not good. You can potentially go grind in the Dragon Tower in case you need more experience points, but ugh.
But hey, at least it's not Bartandalus.
I didn't have that much issue with Bartandalus, actually.
I hate him so much. Ugh.
Either way, Alice's dad just died. Well, I guess that means we now have a child running a kingdom. Should go well.
So basically, this king was exactly like King Desmond and Prince Zephiel. He wanted to kill the prince.
Not by his own volition. Gigamesh was controlling him. That's the reason he stabbed himself, just so because the love overpowered the magic or some bullshit.
That's true.
But yeah, you want to be level 26 for that fight, because otherwise you're not going to have enough hit multipliers to do enough damage. Because the main reason I go to level 26, I believe, if I recall at least, is just due to the agility boosts being enough to do at least 1,000 damage.
Noah's loot.
A tone that reaches even the dream world. We're going to need to keep that in mind for later. What do you have to say? A temple sunk into the sea. Below Salonia rests 2 horns.
Okay, that sounds like Edward's theme.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a reference. Either way, now that we've helped Salonia out, we actually now have free reign to go anywhere in it and buy anything we want, as well as grab any treasure that's in the castle. And heyo!
Oh, secret. Whoa, look at that.
They actually tell you about this upstairs, but they don't tell you exactly where it is. And there's a lot of stuff here.
Rusted armor.
The only things out of this bunch right here, at least that's useful, is the golem staff and the scholar hat, as well as the Medusa arrows, which I believe is like the last thing of Medusa arrows you find in the game, by the way. So you can store those for later. The golem staff is essentially similar to the burning staff in that it has an element to it, but when you attack enemies with it, it starts a petrification process. The scholar hat is just a better hat. You might hear the music cutting in and out. That's because I'm throwing away some of those rusted armors just because I'm out of inventory space at this point. The rusted armors and all that shit, if you can't tell, is not good.
Unless you're an imp.
I guess. Oh, God. I'm trying to think if I'll ever show off Wind God Gal when I get to 6.
Oh, God.
Just keep in mind with...
I don't have the patience to do that.
It's not the worst. You just need the imp stuff and his that one rage. Either way, as that one guy who I just talked to said, oh, there he is. Apparently, Archmage Noah not only taught those 3 people, Dorga, Un, and Zandy, but also split his power amongst them. Interesting. There's a hidden passageway right there that guy tells you about, and down here, we have another little hidden passageway puzzle, which I honestly do not like. And down here, we have more staircases. And down here we have a bit of a hidden passageway that just leads to some Phoenix Downs. But apparently that thing over there we can see we can get to through the catacombs. We won't be exploring that until I believe the next part. But keep in mind that guy there for later.
That guy looks like a bad Cecil. Or Cecil.
You're honestly pretty close about that. And these are the scholars and engineers. And they're actually going to give us that very fast airship that was mentioned in some town last part that was here in Salonia. The Nautilus. And that guy's really slow.
Nautilus. I was thinking about the blue Nacris or Narcissus.
Narcissus?
Maybe it's called that. I always called it the blue Narcissist, so.
Well, Narcissus is where the term narcissist comes from, I believe. I think that's Greek mythology?
Probably.
Either way, now we have access to the Nautilus. It's waiting right outside, and it's actually a pretty decent airship. It's extremely fast.
Finally?
Nope, but it's fast.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, really fast. Either way, at this point, I'm going to do some shopping. I want to buy... I just did my shopping off screen there. In the southwestern quadrant, bought 3 black robes and a white robe, and in the northeastern one, I bought a flame rod, 3 ice rods, 3 lightning rods, 2 copies of Ice 2, Cure 3, Life, Bolt 3 of those, and the Kill spell. Because
Kill is death, right?
Basically. You'll learn why I bought multiples of some spells soon. But first, let's check out the Salonian Library. Ancient Book 1, the 4 statues. They'll annihilate anyone who tries to pass through them to get to the crystal. The key to them is the 4 fangs, only we can pass through. This is basically backstory and information dump. Like that one right there basically told us that to get back to the floating continent, find the Dalug continent and fly west of it.
The Book of Owen.
In fact, there it is right there. That's written by the guy who built the Tower of Owen. I do like it when games give little sections like this. I just wish it was done better. But it's an NES game. I'll let it go.
This definitely has 5 elements to it.
No, I mean 5 has this elements to it.
Whatever. I mean, I played 5 first, but I know that 5 is a sequel, so I see what you mean there.
What? 5's a sequel to 3? Ah! And
No.
there we get a bit of a name drop. Owen is Desh's father. They're both kind of dead now, but we get a flashback to that guy. Also, as you can obviously tell, I switched back to my prior classes. So now let's head on over to Dalug. That's this continent right here, the one that has all the mountains on it. Now that we have the Nautilus, we can actually fly through those windy passageways. Problem
also,
is,
there are monsters.
Yeah, mid-era monsters. We got 2 here. First off, we got the Submerge, 235 HP, 1040 HP, 450 gil, weak to wind, so arrow's the way to go. And you can steal a potion from them.
Is he gonna get an arrow to the knee? Probably not.
No. No.
Also, can I just say that Simurg brings some, like, terrible nightmares of 10 to
Yeah.
mind.
Either way, the gargoyle that's already dead.
Aha! I had that in the wrong order. My bad. Just hold on a minute. I'll get it.
We are prepared. We are good at this.
Hey! I was prepared. It's just that the wiki is not being nice to me today.
Oh, and hey, your other enemy, too.
Ah! Everything is slow. Everything is awesome, I swear. Everything is going just fine, guys. Trust me.
Everything you know is wrong.
Alright, so I'll go over the harpy now, and I'll go over the gargoyle in a second. God dang it! You're so slow! Okay, the harpy has 1000 HP, 1040 experience points, 460 gil, and you can steal potions from them. And the gargoyle has 345 HP, 1200 EXP, and 470 gil, and they're weak to wind, and you can steal potions.
So
Okay.
are you, like, opening up these links that I sent you when the enemy comes up, or do you have them open and prepared?
No, I have them open and like ready to go. It's just that it's something weird that's going on is that they're closing when I'm trying to click onto them.
Either way, this is Dorga's home, and oh god, he has mutant teddy bears. Just kidding, they're Moogles. This is actually the first game to have Moogles.
Moogles! They're so cute.
And this is Dorga. Apparently, the ones causing all the darkness to come onto the world is one of his other classmates, Zandy. For some reason. The way that they try to explain it is that when Noah died, he did split his powers up. Dorga got the magic, Un got the dream world, and Zandy got the ability to live as a human. Which, he felt kind of gypped by that. Because admittedly, that is kind of misbalanced in some ways that you can see it. However, he saw that even though the gift is apparently I'm running out of things to say. Either way, as Dorga just said, the Crystal of Earth is not shattered. The one that Goldor shattered was just one that produced gold.
And he joins your party. And the Moogles went away happy.
In order for us to get access to certain things, we need to help Dorga out with a task here in his house. Namely, we need to head to the Magic Circle Cave, which we need to be a midget to enter. I think you can see where this is going.
It's pretty strange how his house is very castle-like.
It's only it's only 2 floors, actually, so it is closer to a house. First off, this room here is both a item, weapon, and, I think a weapon. Item and weapon shop, as well as a big chocobo on the far right.
Oh, I am so sorry about all that stuff that happened before. I'm glad that I'm caught up now. Goodness me.
It happens.
Too much with me, though. You know this.
Yeah. Oh no, it's weapon then. Oh no, it's magic.
Magic.
I'm bad at this.
We're all
Here's what
bad
I
at
want to buy here because we can actually buy more spells here. I want to buy Fire 3, Bio, Warp, and Arrow 2, and Haste.
You're not buying Cure 3?
I already have Cure 3.
Aha.
I just bought it in Salonia, if I recall. This is almost the last kind of spells I need, because level 8 spells are not going to be that useful in this game. There's only really 2 that are useful in my eyes. And either way, as he said, the Magic Circle Cave that's coming up, you need to be a midget to enter it. What do we remember about being midgets? Attacks are not worth shit and our defense is low. So, in this Black Chocobo cut, Big Chocobo cut, I turned everyone back into Black Mages. It's actually why I bought extras of certain spells earlier, like the 3 Bolt 3s and the 2 Ice 3s.
I really like the Black Mage sprite in this game.
Oh yeah, I really like it. The character sprites in this game are really well done. And there's an inn right here if you need it, as well as a revivification.
Oh my god, the fact that he's talking about water is making me really thirsty at this point. I forgot to fill up on water before the recording, but that's alright.
And now we can head on over to the cave.
Oh my god, that is such a small door. That makes me so happy.
You need to be a midget, and also there's a high potion there. It's actually, I almost forgot to grab that. That would have been kind of bad for my 100%, even though there's not anything that counts your chests in this game, unlike Lufia 2 or Final Fantasy 5 or Final Fantasy 9. Although Magic Circle Cave is not that bad of an area in terms of enemies, aside from the first one I run into. Mage Flyers, rather. 555 HP, 1440 XP, 520 gil, weak to wind, but they can use Fire 2, Ice 2, and Bolt 2 against you, and they are pretty fast. Since you're forced to fight them under mini, at this point, I would just recommend running away if you're not around my levels. If you don't run away, though, just go all out. It's the best thing you can really do.
Can I also say how ugly they look? Like, my gosh.
Oh yeah, they're terrifying.
That's, like, imagine seeing that in real life. I'm sure there's, like, a movie that has something similar to that.
Honestly, they do kind of remind me of the babies from Cloverfield. I did not like that movie too much, aside from the designs of the monsters.
That's fair.
Speaking of monsters, I still need to see the recent Godzilla movie. That looked really good.
Okay. These guys are Dark Knights, or Dread Knights. And they have 370 HP, they give you 1440 experience points, and 510 gil. You can steal a potion, a bomb arm, a North Wind, and God's Rage, and they drop just that.
Gotta say, I like these enemy designs, though. I think this game does the exact same trick that 1 and 2 did, though, where in order to kind of play around with color palettes, they actually didn't use black in them. like if you see the black on them, that's actually the background.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
I think that's how it works. Just because then they could technically have an extra color on a limited color sprite. Because I think the way it worked is that any sprite in Final Fantasy in a NES game only could be 3 colors, maybe 4.
Well, I guess that makes sense with visual properties and limitations of the NES.
It's technically why Mega Man is 2 sprites, because his head I think is counted as a separate one.
Thank God for Super Nintendo, am I right?
Yep. And next enemy is a Devil Horse. 355 HP, 1320 XP, 480 gold. You can steal and they drop a high potion.
So are these guys technically the Nightmares?
No, the Nightmares were earlier on. You can only find them in Goldor's castle. Thankfully, these guys can't confuse you, because, I hate the Nightmares in this game.
I hate anything that confuses me. You kidding? Lamias are the worst.
I hate anything that confuses me. Just stares at my math textbook.
Same. Also,
Soon.
Pink Puffs.
Ugh. I'm not looking forward to getting that.
Well, I mean, also because I've been stuck in the situation where Cecil will use teleport, effectively wasting an alarm, and that really makes me mad.
Thankfully, I'll have more than technically less time to do that in when I eventually get to 4, because I think I mentioned before I'll be playing the PSP version of 4 for the channel because it's my favorite game of the series. I think it deserves the best version, and the PSP version has a really nifty auto battle feature where you can just press the select button and it speeds it up by like 3 times.
Ugh.
It's so good. And here we are at the end of the cave.
That looks like a save point.
Actually, you're kind of right about that. Particularly in 4.
Zehapid Mukupased.
Dorga is doing his job now. First off, he's enchanted the Nautilus so it can go under the ocean, which we need to do in order to enter the Temple of Time. And secondly, he's going to start working on getting a key to a place called Eureka. That'll come into play in the second to last part, I think. Also, he sends us out of this place in probably the most stupid way I've ever seen a game do. He's going to send us outside through 1 screen transition, 2 screen transition, 3 screen transition, 4 screen transition, 5 screen transition, 6 screen transition, 7 screen transition. You could have just done that with 1.
That's rude.
Maybe 2. Either way, with that, we are now going to do some stuff with the Nautilus. Since now it can go underwater, we can not only just access the Temple of Time, we can access that landlocked village we saw earlier. When you do that, just head on over to it and press the A button to go underwater. And underwater actually has an entire another set of enemies, starting off with the Niggle. 380 HP, 1440 XP, 540 guild. You can steal a potion, and otherwise they are pathetic.
Oh, you make Nurgle look decent.
And that's sad. It is really sad though, because underwater does have a lot of like unique and kind of cool enemies in it. But this is the only underwater battle we're seeing because you never need to go underwater again aside from the Temple of Time.
I think it's pretty interesting how in 5 you don't run into enemies, and also the landlocked town reminds me of Moo, I believe is the name. I think it's pretty cool.
Moo from
5.
Right. Either way, this is actually a pretty interesting town. This is Dorga's village. Basically, it's a village of mages that he built up himself. And almost every single magic spell in the game is available here, including a few summons. Problem is, not many of them are useful at this point. What I do want to buy, though, is Quake, Break 2, and Cure 4. Break 2 is just an instant petrification. Cure 4 is obvious, and Quake is just basically high damage. You could potentially, if you wanted to, get any other magic spell you wanted to here, just because they're almost all here, so anything you wanted to get earlier, you could.
Like Meteor and Holy and all that stuff?
Oh, level 8 spells are the only ones that aren't here, really. Because level 8 spells are pretty restricted in this game.
Oh, well.
Either way, if you were paying attention to the dialogue earlier, Dorga said that the Temple of Time was in the fork of the Solonian continent, which is right here. We're just to the southwest of Salonia, as I'm now showing you. And Well, that actually took me some time to find my first playthrough because I didn't quite explore as much. But there's the Temple of Time. And with that, we're going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. And in part 8, we will be heading into the Temple of Time and hopefully finding the Master Sword.
Will we
See
find
you guys
the
then.
Oracle of Time? Will we find Nehru?
Who needs it?
Eh.
Nah.